What's up everyone, we're going to be going through the best NBA player props on Prizepicks today. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see, we actually got 23 picks correct, which was absolutely insane. So we're on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get 23 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks from some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $500 just yesterday. Another member who won $200 for the 5th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, a link will be in the description. So go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group. And I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So first pick we're talking about is none other than LeBron James for 2.5 3 points made, and this one is for less. Now look at LeBron. We've actually seen him go in the under in 0 out of the last 5 games, and they do face off against none other than the Denver Nuggets. Now look at the Denver Nuggets. We see that they rank actually 17th when it comes to 3-point percentage allowed. On top of that, they rank 23rd when it comes to 3-point attempts allowed, and then 23rd when it comes to 3-point mades allowed. Now, the reason why we still do like the under for someone like LeBron James is due to the fact that when it comes to, Denver Nuggets, we actually see them do a really good job at restricting 3-point attempts, 3 points made, and 3-point percentage to the actual forward position. And the fact that LeBron does play that forward position, we definitely see him, or a lot of the focus from Denver towards LeBron and have him struggle from the field, especially that 3-point line. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. When it comes to someone like LeBron James, yes, he is a fantastic player, and yes, he does have a high usage rate, but I think Denver, being a really good defensive team, especially against stars, although on paper when it sees that throughout the whole team we don't see them ranked too high, I think when you look at per position basis, that is definitely going to be more and more reliable than the other, and for that reason we are sticking to the under here. And when we look at what the bookies are saying, the bookies also have a favorite for the under as well, so it works out in our favor there. So we are going a little bit against the grain here when you look at his average over the last 5, but like I always say, guys, matchups, that's what's most important. He's had an easier matchup over the last 5 games, and we definitely see that changing coming into this next matchup. So LeBron James, 2.5 3 points made for less, I think is a great pick. So getting to the second player, we're going to be talking about none other than Toumani Camara. So Toumani Camara, great player, as we all know, and this one is a points for 12.5 points, and this one is for less. Now look at Camara. We've actually seen him go in the under in 3 out of the last 5 games, and they do face off against the Charlotte Hornets. Now Charlotte Hornets aren't the greatest team, but Charlotte Hornets do actually rank 9th when it comes to points allowed. So they do a really good job at actually restricting points, and also do a very good job at restricting points to the forward position. And that's a big reason why we do like the under for this situation here. Camara had a great game against the Los Angeles Lakers where he had 19 points. We think that it's brought this line a little bit too high, that now there's a lot more value actually to go on the under here. His average over the last 5 is only 10.8. When you look at the line at 12.5, it's significantly lower. So that's the reason why we do like the under for this one. We think that that outlier game has just brought this line a little bit too high, and when you look at his average, it definitely does show that. On top of that, when we also look at Charlotte, they do a great job at restricting points to Kamara's position, which is that forward position as well. So we definitely see that playing into it as well. But all in all, we do like the under for this one. So Toumani Camara for 12.5 points for less, I think is a great pick. So getting into the third player, we're going to be talking about none other than LaMelo Ball. So as we all know, LaMelo Ball, great player, and this one is for 26.5 points, and this one is for less. Now look at LaMelo Ball. We've actually seen him go on the under in 4 out of the last 5 games, and they do face off against none other than the Portland Trail Blazers. Now look at the Portland Trail Blazers. We see that they rank 19th when it comes to points allowed. Now, when it comes to someone like LaMelo Ball, we've actually seen his point usage rate definitely decrease quite a bit. He did go on the over in the most recent game, but only made it over by 0.5. So he hasn't been convincing as of lately. He's been on a little bit of a cold streak, and I think a big reason for this is that when it comes to Charlotte, they are starting to look to actually starting to tank. I think that is definitely a strategy that some of these, teams that aren't, or are not destined to make the playoffs. They are starting to do that quite a lot. So we are going to see LaMelo's usage rate actually fall quite a bit. And because of that, we are looking to the under for this situation here. So, Charlotte are going to try to tank to try to get a good high draft pick. And for that reason, we could see LaMelo not get the same amount of usage rate that he usually sees. And that's what we have seen over the last 5 games. His average over the last 5 is 17.6. So, as you can tell, significantly lower. And on top of that, when we also look at Portland, they do a great job against guards as well. But when you also look further than that, you also do see that when it comes to, what the bookies are saying, the bookies also have him favored for the under as well. And I think a big reason for that is the tanking that is going on. That's definitely going to play a huge effect coming into this matchup as well. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for someone like LaMelo Ball. So LaMelo Ball, 26.5 points for less, I think is a great pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but Prizepicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Tyrese Maxey. So as we all know, Tyrese Maxey has done a fantastic job for his team. And when it comes to Tyrese Maxey, he has been averaging 27.3 points, 3.5 rebounds, 6.1 assists, while also shooting 44.8% from the field. So the 76ers have had a bit of an interesting season. They do have a record of 20-35, and they do face off against none other than the Brooklyn Nets. And the Brooklyn Nets also do have a similar record, or an exact same record of 20-35 as well. Now, when we look at the Brooklyn Nets, however, we see that they rank 8th in points allowed. Also, when it comes to assists allowed, we do see that they rank, pretty well as they do actually rank just a little bit lower as they rank 21st. And then rebounds allowed, they also rank 7th. So a little bit lower in that assist category. However, when it comes to Tyrese Maxey, we do actually like him for the under for this situation here, as Brooklyn Nets actually do a really good job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the point guard position, which is what Tyrese Maxey plays. So we definitely see him going on the under here. 76ers have had a pretty tough season, and it does seem that the 76ers are looking to tank the rest of the season. So because of that, we may not see Tyrese Maxey get the same amount of usage rate that he usually does. We could see him come off early. A lot of plays may not be ran for him anymore due to the fact that 76ers are trying to lose. So they are going to try to go for a high pick, and now that we're heading into the second, half of the season, a lot of these teams are going to start to tank in order for an NBA good draft pick. And for that reason, we do like the under for this one. Now, when it comes to Tyrese Maxey as well, and the matchup between 76ers and Brooklyn Nets, we aren't expecting a lot of pace from this game. 76ers are a pretty slow-paced team. Brooklyn Nets are a little bit slower. And it comes to that, we think that both teams are going to have a slower down pace, which should lead to less volume for Tyrese Maxey as well. So with all those things being said, we do like the under for this situation for Tyrese Maxey, but as always, keep an eye out for his line first. If it is too close to his averages, definitely look to go in the under. So definitely see a lot of great value there. Now getting to the next player, we're going to be talking about Denver Nuggets Russell Westbrook. Now, when it comes to Russell Westbrook, great player. Now, he's done a fantastic job scoring or averaging 12.9 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 6.4 assists. So he's done a fantastic job while also shooting 47.3% from the field. So he's done a great job for the Denver Nuggets, and the Denver Nuggets do have themselves a great matchup against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, we look at the Los Angeles Lakers, we see that they rank 13th when it comes to points allowed. On top of that, moving on into assists allowed, we do see that they rank actually 24th, and then rebounds allowed, they also rank a little bit better at 10th. Now, when it comes to this matchup for the Nuggets and Lakers, as we both know, both these teams are in playoff contention, so we are expecting both these teams to, really give it their all. And when it comes to Russell Westbrook, we do actually very much like the over for this situation here. A big reason being is that when it comes to Lakers bench, they actually do a very poor job at actually, restricting point guards to that second unit. Now, Westbrook, although sometimes he does start, we tend to see him play a lot of minutes as well with the second unit. It's very interesting to see. It really does change a lot. But what we have noticed with Denver Nuggets and the way they like to use Russell Westbrook, yes, when he does start, he does end up playing with the second unit. And that's where we actually see Russell Westbrook being able to take advantage of this, as Lakers second unit are a very, very poor defensive lineup, okay? They do very very poor at restricting points, rebounds, and assists to the point guard position, and we definitely see Westbrook being able to take advantage of that. So even if Westbrook does start, we tend to see him play with the second unit, and if he does come off the bench, that's even better for us. But I think overall we could see Westbrook go over on his line, whether it's points, rebounds, and assists. He has a very good usage rate in all three departments, as we all know, and we definitely see that playing on into this next game, no doubt about it. So for that reason, we do very much like, the over for this situation for someone like Russell Westbrook, who also has been playing great. And since they are coming back from All-Star break, we should see him very fresh and healthy. Now, getting to the next player, we're going to be talking about Portland Trail Blazers, Anfernee Simons. So, Anfernee Simons, as we all know, great player. And what we also do know is that when it comes to Anfernee Simons, he has been doing great, averaging 18.4 points, 2.7 rebounds, and also 5 assists, while also shooting 42.3% from the field. So, he's done a great job for none other than the actual Trail Blazers, and they do face off against, the Charlotte Hornets coming into this game. Now, it is going to be a pretty fast-paced game. So Trailblazers 23-33 as a record and 14-40 for the Hornets. Now when we look at the Hornets, however, although they have a poor record, they still do rank 9th when it comes to points allowed. On top of that, moving on into assists allowed, they rank 12th, and then rebounds allowed, we see that they rank 16th. So surprisingly, they rank pretty well in all three categories, and for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. When it comes to Anfernee Simons, although he does have a decent usage rate in the points and assist department, we are expecting the under for this situation, as Charlotte do a great job at restricting points, rebounds, and assists, not only to teams but also to the shooting guard position. So we definitely see him going on the under in this situation here. When it comes to someone like Anfernee Simons, another big reason is that Trailblazers aren't really in the greatest spot when it comes to actually, making the playoffs or anything like that. So for that reason, we definitely could see him actually, do pretty poorly, try to actually, Portland Trailblazers try to throw the game as much as they can, and for that reason we definitely see that playing a huge factor. So for that reason, we are very much liking the under for this situation for someone like Anfernee Simons, whether it's points, rebounds, and assists. We think the tanking that is going on, and also on top of that, Charlotte doing a very good job at actually restricting points, rebounds, and assists to his position. We see all those things taken into consideration, and we definitely see him going on the under here.